I got the heart of a lion. Up with the highest, I'm still in the crowd. Cause this with my heart at. I hunt like a tiger.
Oh, okay. The whole time I was like curious if you can hear me. What's good? So I was listening to your ranking. Who did you have from 20 to 14? That's when I picked up.
From 20 to 14,
Yeah.
Scar at 20, Dede at 19, Burke at 18, Mike. Who was 15, chat? Simba, Vern, Bruce. I don't remember who was 12. I know 11. Fomby, Trey Croft, Cam, Friga, BJ, Isote, Nesco, Moon, Rob, Scoob, Nas, Zay.
People want me to wipe the camera. It's a light. I don't know what to do about that.
You gotta wipe it, brother.
Like right here.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what to do because I move my hand.
Oh man, I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. There's a light coming down. I'm gonna have to like move me to the side. What's good though? You've been streaming for a minute.
Yeah, I've been, bro. We did a list for like the last 3 hours. Yeah, we've been doing a top 20. Nobody's done a top 20 list, so I want to be the first to do a top 20 list, a legit one, like with resumes on it. So,
Yeah, I saw you. I mean, are you like always updating those, or are you just updating it when like you do those lists? You go back and look at all the games.
So like I updated for the top 10, but I never went to 20. So I had to do like a whole top for 10 through 20 or 11 through 20. I had to go through all 8 resumes.
Who's played the most one-on-one games?
Scoob.
That's tough.
Moon. Scoob and Moon.
Yeah.
Scoob and Moon.
He kind of moons games in China.
Oh my gosh. It's Moon by far.
He was playing one a day for like 4 or 5 months straight.
Yeah, I guess. That's insane. And that's why whatever he was making in China, he probably deserved because they was probably working him more than shit. Probably killing that boy. What's up though, bro? How you feeling, man? What's going on, bro? What's the word?
Good.
What's going on, man?
Well, we just launched that exclusive early access basically to the Pat and Kel, and it was incredibly successful. Incredibly successful. So very happy about that. Very happy to know that people are willing to support games like that because in order to make those kind of games happen, like we do want to make sure that the players are compensated well, they're taken care of, the experience is good. Because like those games, not necessarily like are like on the pay-per-view level out the gate, but it's like the community wants to see that. And instead of like waiting for it, we can execute those games and get the players a deserving appearance fee and prize that's on the line. So supporting us supported us way beyond what YouTube could even do. So I appreciate everybody that helped with that.
I'm not gonna lie, man. This is a great formula, bro, in terms of a game that may not be pay-per-view worthy, but it's hot enough to like stamp in a city. The crowd was locked into that game and wasn't nobody from Cincy in that game.
That's what I thought was like the coolest thing. Like it was a neutral crowd and a lot of the people that pay for the tickets to come to our events, I think they want to see more of that. You know, they want to see more of those games than they do just maybe even some of the guys from their own city. They get excited. So I'm like hella inspired right now. I've been writing ideas since because the community support has just been insane.
Talk to me about some of that support. What you been seeing?
Well, I've just been seeing, honestly, I've been seeing a lot of people saying like, man, I would have paid 10 for that. I would have if this was a subscription and we could watch one game a month, I want to be a part of that. Like just kind of opening up the avenue because it's hard going from YouTube, which is free, to then moving into a paid business model where both can exist. But like the reality is like being a production company, it's very expensive. That's why the NBA could never post their games on YouTube, even though YouTube would get them more viewership because more people are on YouTube now than national television. Even though YouTube could get them more views, they'll never make that transition because TV deals are just super big. So for us, you know, continually having that support to just upgrade. Like we spent mad money on new cameras for that series, so everything looked extra crisp. Like our whole setup is different. We had the audio technicians there. Everything just got
This
upgraded, and
this this recent city event felt like real production. Like I'm talking about like like that's what it felt like. It felt like
yeah.
TNT. No
Hmm.
cap.
And another big part of that, because I see a lot of people have been saying like about San Francisco. What people are failing to realize is San Francisco was our best performing series that we've ever done.
That's
It
crazy.
was, even though it was very expensive because it was planned in 5 days, so we had to book everything like really close, and it was All-Star weekend. San Francisco was the most lucrative. It supplied the most growth for TNC. When we went to Detroit, it was one of our most competitive series that we've ever done, but it was one of our worst performing that we've ever done. And so far, Day Day versus Jordan is also behind every single episode from San Francisco.
Why is that? Do you
So
understand why?
I think it's just like people are looking for uniqueness. They're looking for certain titles that they want to click on. Like our core community of the 100,000 to 150,000 are going to watch every single episode. They want to watch good basketball. But once it hits that 150,000 that have watched, it then crushes the algorithm if the title and the thumbnail and all of it makes sense. And that's what San Francisco had. You had the Asian Jamal Crawford, right? That title is very interesting. So it blew up. This is a more normal title and whatnot. So um, I think it's just like this is more basketball that feels like how our seasons are. And San Francisco is a little bit more theatrical, which kind of reduced the spark, you know?
Wow. Yeah, that's some education for your ass. Because
Mhm.
when you think about, but like even ISO Tay's game wasn't.
Yeah, but I do think that that game had a really interesting theme to it. It was NCAA D1 versus D1 JUCO. So it's the comparison strategy, right? Like if today's title was D1 athlete versus G League athlete, you're gonna get clicks because people are gonna want to see, is there a difference from a D1 player to a G League player, or like D3 versus a G League player? Even that. Um, but yeah, it all comes down to the titles, and sometimes certain games are hard to title, and like it's a beautiful game, and you might think it's one of the greatest games ever, but it comes down to that title.
So what is your expectations for Burke and Jordan Bringers?
Um, I think if I had to take a guess, I'm gonna say, watch you quote me on this. I'm gonna say the viewership in the first 30 days, 235,000 views. All right, I'm gonna take that prediction, 235,000. This video is the Day Day and Jordan's probably gonna do about 190. Um, and then I think the best game from the series, I mean, it's Pat versus Kel. Pat versus Kel is going to be the best game from that entire series. I don't know exactly what we're going to title it yet, but yeah. Most games are going to be right around that 200 to 250 mark, which is good because it's replicable because we can count on that core audience watching every time because it's good basketball instead of having to have the Asian Jamal Crawford or like the Darnell Rogers and J. Lou game, shortest D1 Hooper. So we're growing that core community, and it's showing when people go to tncleague.com and they purchase a ticket to watch Kel versus Pat.
Is that the greatest game in next chapter history?
I think it is. I think it is because Eli and Day Day were there. Like that was the undisputed one. We all
Yeah.
voted on it. That was one. But it's just like I felt an emotion to that game. It was like the curiosity that I had to see Kel return. Like, was Kel gonna be the Kel that we've seen in the past? I know mentally what it was doing to him. Pat is exploding on the scene right now. They were supposed to have played a year ago. That game didn't happen, so Pat ended up playing Matt. Matt beat Pat, 1.2 million views. It was a massive game. Pat sat on that for a really long time, and it's just like everything all combined, it was a like masterpiece of a game. Like for that to be a year in the making is crazy.
I don't think the people understand they need to go get a ticket.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's $5, and anybody that is complaining about it being $5, it'll still come out for free, April 3rd. So
Jesus Christ, man. That game. All right, anyway, I don't want to say none of anything. But let me
mhm.
talk to you about Chapter 2 Season 2, man. It's around the corner.
It is. We're looking at filming at the end of the month, dialing in on the pay-per-view matchups, who it's going to be. Looking to do 5 cards. So we haven't locked in a single one yet. Well, we've been having discussions,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm like pen to paper on any matchup yet. We're really dissecting what's going to be the best one. And sorry, I was reading the chat. They were
You talking
saying
about son?
bands.
I be trying to ignore it, dog. I be trying my
But
hardest.
yeah, we have a lot of stuff moving, like last minute stuff. A lot of people have come to the table with interest. So
Are there some Cincy guys that you're interested in?
yes, two of them.
Anybody from San Fran?
Um, two or three.
Okay. How well do you think those guys are gonna translate from their cities compared to a season where you probably gonna are we doing a rematch clause again?
More than likely, yeah.
Doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I think that the rematch clause it was a repeatable process that we can do that helps us really evaluate where people are at without like saturating and like accidentally making certain matchups happen that are deserving to happen in the future for, a bigger bag or whatever it is. And I just like that like you're building a rivalry. And if you won one, there's a high chance that that can be something big. People want to see BJ and Scotty play game 3. People want to see Burke and Bird play game 3. Trey and Vern, like there's a lot going on.
Let me ask you this: do you think those guys' bodies are going to be able to like a TNC season is different, man? And
Yeah,
I didn't do no damn rematch when I played on there with y'all. Like
I th
that is different.
yeah, I think that it's going to be hard to. I think we just got to have an expectation of like where those guys are at right now in the one-on-one space. We can't hold them to the same standard of the guys that have played 20 games. You have to properly evaluate it, and I think that they'll be able to handle it on their bodies. But I think it's just like, are they gonna play smart? Are they gonna? Because these seasons are way different. Cities, like if you're down by 15, your opponent might be trying to hit like a crazy shot his next play. But in these seasons, it's like there's money on the line, and I'm trying to beat you as bad as I possibly can.
Hey, bro, like the amount of crazy shots that we just seen in San Fran, like or even in Cincy, that's not happening when it's time to play for 1,500. Like,
Oh, not at all for sure.
I just want to see how some of these guys like adjust to that type of intensity, like
Mm,
with guys on a team talking that talk to you,
yeah, the
like
trolling is way different in a season.
yeah, yeah. The trolling is way different. So let me ask you this, bro. What are some of your expectations for the TNC guys now?
I think it's gonna be harder for the people that are not putting forth the effort on themselves throughout all of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because as the competition level continues to grow, the only thing that you can control outside of just like evolving with it and continually competing and winning, because at that point you have to keep winning. But if you don't grow your own brand, you're going to filter yourself out. That's just the truth of what it is. If as this has grown, you've seen a lot of people have changed, a lot of people haven't capitalized on the attention and the demand to see them do things. And I'm not saying like go hoop elsewhere and make content for somebody else. I'm saying go make content for yourself. And I think getting it out there publicly, it's like TNC is a production company and we have a bunch of athletes that it's our job to help them grow, but a lot of them can still do it on their own. And I think that if people take that into their own hands and they start growing, like shout out to Day Day, look, his channel's doing well. And I know Day Day's making some extra money growing his brand. So I think everybody should start to be inspired to do that.
Explain to the people like when y'all had went to Atlanta?
For the Street Stars thing?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so Cam and J. Lou got booked to go play in a Street Stars event. And instead of Street Stars spending more money to take the video from Cam and J. Lou and put it on their channel, J. Lou and Cam took less money and they actually owned their own content. So they still went there. You were able to sell tickets. J. Lou and Cam helped bring more people into attendance, which helped their videos. But Grayson and myself flew out there and filmed it for Cam and J. Lou, edited the videos, gave it to them on their channel, and they just kept everything that came with it. So that's just part of the way that we do want to invest into the players. Sometimes we can't be there for everything, but that's kind of been my stance of like, go hoop, but grow your own brand too. Because I think the best case scenario is be a part of something, grow with that so that you have a consistent backbone that's scaling up the whole time and bringing you there. But you have to also grow your stuff in order for the entire puzzle or the entire just like core of this to just blow up as fast as possible. You know, look at AMP. It's like AMP, imagine like one of their creators was just like, I'm just going to tag along every time that we do AMP stuff. I don't want to grow my own channel, so I'm going to then go do stuff with 2Hype. You know, so I'm just gonna come from AMP into like the people that are a part of AMP that
Conflict
are
of
really
interest.
yeah. It's just it's easier to if everybody has the same goal, then the thing moves way quicker.
Explain to the people the difference between or the can you give the people the pros and cons of exclusivity and inclusivity?
You
I do. I you know I gotta ask you.
no. I know you do. I know you do. I have like my opinions about that.
Yeah.
I think I think the two things that you want to look at is long-term growth and sustainability falls more in the line of exclusivity. Short-term money is more in the side of the inclusivity. I think that it's like it's very different. Like the short-term money is really, really, really lucrative, right? Like it's upfront, it's like I can go here, 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 make a ton of money. It's very exciting for a 6 month, 1 year thing, but the community is going to grow to a level where having your own brand means so much. Like I know where this community is heading. We've been here since the very beginning. This is where it's going. You have to have your own brand. And if you don't grow that, it's going to be very hard to exist a year from now.
Like, I gotta ask you that, bro. I gotta ask you to explain that, baby. I
Mm-hmm.
gotta ask you to explain that, bro. But I think that is very, very important because I'm gonna just say, for even myself, it's easier. It's a lot less pressure. Like I'm speaking for myself only, Scotty. I've never felt pressure to go anywhere. like I've never because I've tried to build this from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, like the way next chapter grows, my channel kind of grows simultaneously, because I cover it. But I just think having your own brand, and then y'all can hear me.
Yeah, I hear you perfectly fine. Yeah.
Oh, I bet. I just think having your own brand is just better. Like it's just like wearing my own shit is just like. But anyways.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is about if you want to participate in so many places, you do have to rely on so many places having X amount of events in order to make your money. And like you said, like you're able to wake up and say, I'm gonna make this video or I'm gonna put forth this amount of work. And it actually translates into your own growth, right? So it's like for a lot of the people that I've seen come through this community, I just worry about the longevity. That's it because I've been a part of the entire YouTube basketball movement outside of just Next Chapter from the very beginning. And I know that people that did not grow their fan base and build their own stuff have had a very difficult time. And it's not a good investment into your life to invest 3, 4 years into this and now you're 30 or 32 and now you're trying to figure out what to do when times get tough.
Give me a couple of names for Chapter 2 Season 2.
Ooh, I'm not gonna lie, like we've sent a few invites out. We obviously have TNC guys like Cam, Day, Burke, Kel, Friga, Tay, but almost everybody after that, I might be missing like a few, but almost everybody after that, we're still narrowing it down. Like there's nobody that's like locked yet. It's gonna be very hard to obtain an invite, and it's gonna get a little bit more. It's gonna be a lot of new guys. A lot of new guys we're invested into growing.
Oh man. So what you're saying is that this is, man, I don't mean to pivot back, but this is the brand part, because there's going to be a whole bunch of new guys that people are going to fall in love with. There's going to be a whole bunch of new guys that people, because listen, let me tell you something, man. Just off the Cincy guys, I already talked to you. It's a couple guys that I'm like, yo, he need to be there. But it's just like,
I mean, look at Drew Coda from San Francisco. He told me, yo, I dropped my t-shirt I was wearing in that video that I played in on TNC, and the sales were coming in so much I had to shut down my website because I didn't have enough stocked. I was overselling. So we got a restock and sold a ton of them there because he grew a ton as well. And it's just like, I think that this lane over here on the TNC side is built more for the entrepreneur and the person trying to grow a brand. And that's hard because, like, I'll give an example. There's times where we film content and a player does really well in a season or a series, and we're pushing this to boost their stock up. And as they're scaling upwards, there's something that happened 3 months ago somewhere else that was a bad loss. And as their trajectory is going up, that video comes out and it drops them straight back down right from the bottom. And I'm sure you can understand, like, that's frustrating to be trying to push everybody's stock forward and something's going on where either they're I don't really know how to explain the feeling of it, but that's a big issue that's always been a case. Like Day was a big example. Season 9 defensive player the season, most improved, and right after he got all those awards, his game versus Nesco came out that was filmed months before, you know? So I think that's created a hump for Day just because of the timing of so many other things coming out.
yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you. We talk about that behind the scenes all the time with the players. Like, we always talk about, like, dude to be doing this, and then something drops and boom. So talk to me about how significant a loss is and how tough it could be to climb back up if you are already on this trajectory.
Yeah, I think in a lot of cases it's very cutthroat, and if you're new to the scene and you're undefeated and you're climbing, 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 once you hit that first loss, you almost plateau for a really long time. And once you begin losing, it's very hard to come back up. Even though YouTube basketball is about the glamorous shots and the movements, and that's really what drives viewership and ultimately gets somebody paid. But I think once people see you in a different light, it's hard to go back from that. And sometimes I compare, like, and this isn't a comparison between platforms, but I'll give the example. It'll probably sound like that, but what I'm trying to say is you go on America's Got Talent. You've always been an amazing singer. Nobody really knew about you. You go onto the stage, you sing amazing, boom, golden buzzer, confetti's going everywhere. Now everybody's like, wow, that person's so amazing, a fantastic singer. And then let's say after America's Got Talent, you see that same person performing at like a local bar, and they don't sound nearly as not it's they're good, but it's like there's no theatrics around it, no emotional connection to the fan base and to the culture. And once you see that person there, it's like really hard to see them anymore in that light that was the golden buzzer because you saw them in a different light.
Okay, that's starting to make. So basically, what you're saying is you've shifted a lot of your focus from to building new names.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I see what you're saying here, man. But somebody in the chat talking about Rob. Is Rob coming back?
Yeah. My bad. I like I said, there's probably like one or two guys that I was forgetting off the top of the list.
Okay, all right. So we got a lot. We got locks. We got locks for Freed, Birkenbag,
I
Rob.
want
Go ahead.
want to see Eli and Burke go at it. Definitely want to see Eli and Burke go at it. I was just talking to Eli earlier today. I got to call him back, but I'm pretty sure we'll have Eli in for the season.
Wait, you talking about Eli running mono ones with Birkenbag?
Yeah, yeah. If we can make it happen, that'd be great.
Where would you rank Eli Carter? Strictly skill because he doesn't have enough one on ones.
Um, hmm. I think he falls like 7. Nah, maybe like 6. Between that 5 and 7, but I'm saying 6. I want to stay in the middle of that.
You know what's really crazy? Because he came onto my live, Scotty, and he was like, I want to play all the top guys. So you having him right there is literally perfect. Because that gives him a chance to play all the top guys. But him and Birkenbag is gonna be cinema.
Yeah, I'm thinking like him and Nas. I got Nas for that one. Him and Zay. I would have Zay for that one. Him and Rob. I would have Rob for that one. Where it starts to be like I think he'd have an easier time beating Scoob, Nesco, and who else was in the top
Moon, I had
5?
Moon in there.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's right. I think they're right there. All of those guys I think can adjust at any given moment, but right now they're where they're at. But I think a year from now they can shift more than the Nas and Zays will shift and the Robs.
Give me a vague next chapter. Let's see how I can say this. A vague next chapter breakdown of where it's gonna be at in let's say 5 years.
Okay. Well, you know from the very beginning when we started the next chapter, we were actually supposed to start a basketball league
Yeah.
a long time
Me,
ago.
IB
It's
Court, Nas,
yep.
somebody else.
Yeah. Slim
Slim.
and Moon. I think
Yeah.
there was like 4 teams. It was going to happen in Orlando, or down in Tampa, Florida. And I was really just like by myself on the production side, so it wasn't like I couldn't do it, but we were focused so much on the Wild Hunt stuff and also growing some of the other stuff going on with TNC. I know a basketball league is in the future. We have the capabilities to do it right now, but we need to do it the right way. But I do think our future is going to be live streaming with the pay-per-view stuff. Our website being like a Hooper's Netflix. While we have everything on YouTube, I was just talking in your Discord about like I enjoy doing Warzone, but the truth of it is Warzone costs a certain amount of money to put it on, and YouTube does not generate that. So every time we've done Warzone, we've been like 2 times in the red, like double
Oh
what
my
it's bad.
gosh.
It's bad, and it slows us down from going to cities and doing seasons and whatnot. But I don't want to give up on Warzone because I love the concept of what it is. And without Warzone, we don't
You don't
find
find
Keyshawn
Lat.
Burke and Lat and like to further expand who their brands are. And Caleb Huffman, him coming back. So Warzone's special in that fact. But if we can bring it to our website and have like some subscription thing or like a one-time purchase on what it is, maybe we can figure out that formula because even just for $5, the Kellen Pat game, every ticket sold was the equivalent of 650 people watching it for free on YouTube. So if you think if one out of every
Wait, stop.
600, yeah,
Say that again.
one person buying a ticket for the Kellen Pat game is the same as getting 650 free views on YouTube. And because it's like YouTube videos RPMs are usually between like $7 and $9, especially this year, which means that you make $7 per 1,000 views, or you make 9 per 1,000 views. So if it's 7 per 1,000 views, that really means like one ticket is like 800 views, you know? So it's just like trying to break down and expose to everybody that when you are producing at such a high level and you're paying so much money to the players, it has to exist somewhere else as well, just to have a backbone. And that's where going into our next 5 years, we did TNC01. Pay-per-view models is something that we really want to specialize in. It's been hard to diversify ourselves in the space because the new fan that's coming onto the basketball scene sees so much of the same stuff across every platform. So we're trying to just stand out because we've always wanted to be looked at separately. Everybody can do their own thing. Respect to that. We want to just be different. So I think us doing the pay-per-view models, I really think that'll be our thing. And hopefully it can be our thing because that's what we've been working towards since the very beginning.
Scotty, explain to people what RPM is. Some people may not know what that is.
Oh, so RPM is just it's short for like revenue per milli, and milli means 1,000. So RPM is just like how much you get paid per 1,000 views. So for everybody that's in the chat, when they see 100K views on YouTube, it's not hard to do the math on this. 100K views on YouTube is typically $700 to $900. So you double that at 200K views, you're looking at $1,400 to what, $1,800 per video, right? And as videos hit the algorithm, the RPM drops even less. So when videos hit 1 million, you're looking at probably like a $5 RPM. It's dropping down because it's getting shorter watch time because it's hitting a different audience that's less wanting to watch the full length video. But it's very hard to make a YouTube video and make $1,500 off of it and have 6 videographers, 2 referees, the ABC crew, paying the players, putting prize up. So there's a certain pacing that we have to do when people are saying we need more videos. Well, we have to slow down in order to produce more videos. But if you buy a pay-per-view or you subscribe to our website, you're helping us grow way faster.
The $5 for the Pat game is equivalent to 650 people watching for free. Do you understand that, bro?
Let's just think about this, right? If a video does 2 million views on YouTube, right? Let's say it does 2 million views on YouTube at an $8 RPM. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to do the math. 2 million views on YouTube, $8 RPM. Your video makes $16,000. So instead of 2 million people watching it for free, if 3,000 people purchase it out of our 800 something thousand subs, it'd be the equivalent. And we've only hit 2 million views once. So it's like, that's not even realistic, you know? So the prize money on the Kel and Pat game being 2,500 on YouTube, we would have to get like 300,000 views just to cover the prize money. But on our tickets, we would just have to sell 500 tickets. That's like insane.
Somebody in the chat just said we are spoiled. And I don't think people understand how spoiled they are getting these amount of games for absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people are, most YouTube channels are like 1 to 3 people behind it. This is like a entire operation of
literally
like mad people, like people really relying on this stuff. So it's our job to figure out how to monetize it.
Quick question. Somebody in the chat I want to know too. Which video hit 2 million? Jalen versus Moon?
Friga versus Jason Rivera.
What?
Yeah.
What Moon and Jalen at?
Let me just go. Let me go to the top videos.
Moon and Jalen got to be at 1.5.
No, I don't think so.
1.2?
All right. Here's our top videos. 2 million for Friga and Jason Rivera. 2 million for Cam and Antoine in
Crazy.
Minnesota.
How did that get 2 million?
Because it's the title. It has nothing to do.
What's the title?
The shiftiest and most physical one-on-one ever. In the thumbnail, I don't know if you can remember, Cam hit him with a crossover and he shifted him and he reached. So he's like stumbling, and it's just the perfect scenario. It wouldn't matter if that was 2 basketball players, 2 people that didn't even play basketball. Like, they would have clicked. And that's why the YouTube business is not about necessarily the names, it's about the themes. Look at Friga's channel going nuts right now. It's about the themes. But the Moon and J. Lou video is at 1.1 million.
That's it?
Yeah.
Damn, I thought it was at more than that.
Yeah.
But I do expect it's going to be a lot of great things this year, bro. I don't think people understand what's about to hit the market this year or what's about to happen this year in terms of the growth. This year about to be one of them ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. So it's Scotty, man. Anything else you want to tell the people? Anything else you want to talk about?
I kind of want to know who they want to see in the next city event that we do.
Cool. Chat.
You know, because
Go ahead. Chat. Go ahead. Spam. Who you want to see in the next city event? Do we have an idea of where we're going next?
I think we're gonna go either to New Jersey, Chicago,
Oh,
or
Chi-town.
we had Dallas scheduled earlier for this year for a showcase. It was scheduled for early February, but we ended up moving it because of the pay-per-view. So we'll probably do Dallas towards the end of the year, but those are the three.
Hey, go to Chi-town now.
Yeah, I
Talk
think
to
it'll
me.
be great.
Just talk to me. You said Lat, Nako, Mike, Ryan, Latin Nako, Eli versus Marcellus Howard said that.
Hmm.
Fambi. uh, Somebody said come to Boston. Now I would like to go to Boston because selfishly, I'm going to buy Boston Celtics tickets.
Okay. We were almost out that way when we went to Providence and we had our event shut down.
Facts.
We
Somebody said Indy.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Indiana. Indiana was definitely the most recent conversation we had about what city we were going to next. Totally forgot about that. Um, there's that dude Eugene German was posting, talking shit about
Hey,
everybody.
yeah.
He's very good. I think he'd be a fun watch for everybody here, and I think we were thinking about connecting with him when he gets back home. But with the new season being filmed at the end of March and the next pay-per-view happening early June is the plan.
Ooh.
If that happens, we probably won't be going to our next city until mid or late June.
Marcellus Howard said Seattle, best hoop culture.
Yeah.
Somebody said somebody just commented Jeff Teague. You might want to see Jeff Teague in the season or something. Chicago, Seattle. Yeah. Yeah, but I've seen a lot of lats. I've seen a lot of farm bombs. I've seen a lot of
Lat will it's like a 90% chance Lat will be in TNC02. I think I've shared that with people. It's like a 90% chance. We have to see, if he can make it out for this season as well.
Is he still in season?
He is. Their playoffs start in like a week, but it's quick, like very quick playoffs.
What
So
is it? What is it? Best of 3?
I don't know how it works,
You don't know how
but
it
he said
works.
that there's a chance they're out of it by the dates of the season. You know
What?
that
Go ahead.
Someone just said bring Antoine Kimmins back, the dude that beat Cam. He's like third or fourth in the nation right now for scoring D2.
I
Like
know. I know. Yeah, you sent it to us. Yeah.
everybody was like, ew, I didn't like his game. This is just like posting up all the time. But the man averages like 26 a game. Like that's a lot. That's a lot of
I want to
scoring
go
to add.
watch his film now.
Yeah.
I want to watch his film now, man. Shit.
Mhm.
26 a game for his skill set, man. He was kind of like a bully to me.
Yeah. But when he gets downhill, like he's jumping off one, like from far, like finishing very like high at the rim. I don't really ever see him shooting in his highlights, but he's just relentless going to the rim.
Oh, wow, I like that. Yeah, could he? Did you see any potential in him when he played Cam that he could possibly come back?
I DM'd him. I did actually send him an invite for the season. So he got an invite. So I definitely think he could be the right fit. I just want to match him up against got to match him up against somebody with like a very tough mentality.
All right, let's see. How tall is he?
6 foot, 6 foot 190.
Small guard?
Yeah.
Nah.
Yeah, I'm not too interested in that one. There's going to be a lot of new people. Like I'm going to say of the potential 18 to 24 players that'll be there, probably 60% of them are going to be new faces. And we're talking about of those 24, like 6 guys are already guys that are just like givens to be there on the TNC side. So of the other 18, probably like 14 of them being new faces. At least new to the, like we've seen them in a city before and we're bringing them back.
Okay, so they're very, very fresh to the viewer.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. Okay.
Hmm.
I feel like that's the whole goal of this next season, to be very, very
Yeah.
fresh to the viewer.
I mean, if you look at it, this season didn't perform that much higher than Warzone. Warzone was like about 120, 125,000 views an episode. This last season was about 180, 190, which then kind of goes back to why we are wanting, we lean more towards the exclusive side. There's no way that a Warzone with all new faces should be in the same realm as all of the superstars in together in one season. It's not hitting the algorithm the way that it needs to. It's not getting people excited the way that it needs to. I think there's a ton of more excitement in the curiosity of two new people that you trust are really good going at it versus two people that you've seen them each play 15 games before, so you kind of know how it's going to go.
So basically, the surprise factor.
That's what
Okay.
makes city events so fun.
Yeah.
That's why they outperform everything.
Yeah, the city events are insane every time. Like they don't miss. Even San
Yeah.
Fran in person, it may not be appealing to the viewer, but at that moment when I was there, the only game I was kind of like, was Isotea's game because I knew it was kind of life on. But other than that, every other game, I'm like, damn.
Tay's been a tough one because Tay Tay's getting like so good. It's so hard to like find him somebody that like where did you have him ranked?
Seventh.
Yeah, that could be fair on that. It's just
Where you
like
got? Oh, where you got him? Oh, where you got him? Where you got him? Where you got him?
I just think I personally think he has potential to be uh 3 or 4 right there. I
Oh,
think
for
that's where he's
sure. For sure, he has potential.
and I'm saying like if I were to eye test and be like, who do I have? Like if there was a tournament and everybody had their best game, like I think I would put him at 3. I'd have him behind Nas and Zay right now. But I think with the Zay game, Zay and Tay didn't have a fair game necessarily from both players being able to find a rhythm. The Zay won the game, and it's not to say that it wouldn't have played out that way, but I felt horrible that day that both of them had to stop their rhythm so much, you know,
Yeah, I think
that
he
I
got
would
stopped
love
like three
I would
times.
love to I would love to see them play again because I think defensively he guarded Zay very well, and Zay ended up hitting 4 threes in a row, and it opened the game up. You know what I mean? Like up until those 4 threes went in, that game was like very balanced. That's a game that I would love to watch play again.
Yeah. Scotty, you might have asked you a tough question.
Mm, how tough? Scale of
It's
1 to
like
10.
it's like I just need you to answer it.
All right.
Do you feel like you've been getting copied?
Oh yeah, I mean it's obvious like if you make a good product you will set the standard, and I'm not even just saying from the larger platforms, right? Like every city we go to usually something births out of it, and they create something that's like unique to what they got going on. We've shown that there's a formula that works, and I think everybody knows that that's just the truth of it. Like people are replicating the things that they see that do well. My personal thing is I just wish they would add their own twist. Everything is completely the same.
I gotta ask you that question, man. You can't come in. I can't ask you that. You feel me? That's all. That's
It's
all. I gotta
also
ask you that.
I also think it's hard to grow something if like everybody's doing the same thing, right? Like when you make say you have a Supreme shirt, right? And then everybody with their brand starts kind of copying the Supreme style shirt, right? They start copying it, but like the Supreme shirt is the Supreme shirt, but there's other shirts that have a different name on it that like maybe look a little cooler to you, but it's the same logo. It starts to devalue everything across the board. And that's what it feels like is like we are trying to create that high-end designer, but it's not that hard of a product to replicate from like a video perspective, but what's hard to replicate is the culture and the fan base behind it because I feel like that's where we really like work very hard, and our social media, the way we produce everything, we grow stars very, very, very fast. we engage with our entire community, and we try a bunch of things, and everybody gets to see us make attempts at innovation. So I think we've earned like that trust, and people just want to see somebody triumph, you know? They want to see somebody win and get to that level. And from the beginning, we've been transparent out the gate.
Talk to me real quick. I got a super chat that says, Scotty, will we ever get another TNC showcase?
Yeah. Congratulations to Jeremy. Jeremy hosted the first showcase. He just had his first baby boy. So congratulations to him. It's Jeremy's like whole project that he does to run showcases. So there was things, you know, he had a baby on the way. So now that the baby is here, he'll spend some time with him and his wife. And then afterwards, we're going to get the ball rolling and probably do another 2 or 3 showcases this year.
Any places? Any places that y'all discussed?
Yeah, Atlanta, Detroit, and Atlanta, Detroit. I think those are the 2 right now. It might have been Dallas as well because we were gonna go to Dallas for an event.
Oh yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Mess with that. Hey, listen. If it's in Atlanta or Dallas, I'm there. Yeah, I definitely want to be there.
You guys have to be. Like it's again, like that's what the storyline of TNC, like everything we do, there's a storyline. So when you know about the player that came to the showcase that rolled his ankle on game 1 and fought through it, made it all the way to the end, won the tournament, like when you as the ABC crew and our fans can see that, that's what makes a superstar is we show that triumph on everything, and we show how everybody got to where they got. If this was just like randomly we posted a showcase video and nobody knew anything about it and this is the winner, like, you know, it wouldn't nearly do as well. And that's what that's just where our focus is. Like we just love the story building.
Because the first next ever showcase was posted in its entirety, right? Yeah, I think it was
Uh
posted like the whole hour and 30.
Yeah, but it wasn't the entirety. We had like 6 cameras rolling on 6 different courts for 10 hours straight. So it's like there was a lot going on. We like went through all of that footage and then narrowed it down. And then we turned it into a tournament, and that actually was posted in the entirety. That was day 2 of the showcase. Day 1 was 100 people were trying out, 24 got invited back, and that turned into a tournament.
24. What's homeboy name that came on Warzone?
JT?
Yeah. I could imagine if he had won that game, he probably have been.
There's 3 others. Like there's Q, there's Ray Ford, and there's Tyler. There's 4 others from that showcase that were really good. They played at the Rucker event. That exact team.
Yep. Remember. That was a good event too. Have they talked to y'all at all?
The people that did the Rucker event?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been in touch with them. We haven't spoken in a while, but we were in touch after the event.
Okay. Yeah, 'cause that's a pretty dope event as well, bro. That was fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
Scotty effing Weaver. Oh, we got bring Jay Horn back.
Jay Horn's gonna get an invite for the season. Don't worry.
Bring Jay Horn back. Somebody say bring Jay Horn back.
You know, Jay, it's so different in person than on camera because during that Warzone series, Jay Horn got a lot of heat on YouTube, but being there in person, he was leading his team. Those timeouts were crucial. The way he was rallying everybody together, like if it wasn't for him, it would have got a bit uglier. And the people that he brought didn't perform that well because I think what was the series? Now I'm not speaking bad about it. It's just like Oklahoma just kind of handled business, and that played into the fact, you know, the way people were.
Yeah, Oklahoma was on 10. But hey, hypothetically speaking, Detroit series versus, I'm telling you, man, Cincy has great comp.
Yeah.
And a Warzone series between Detroit and Cincy makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I would love to make it happen. And I was just thinking about it today. I don't want it to be forgotten about. So that's why I was writing a ton of ideas for our website on how many subscriptions that it's going to take in order to break even on the Warzone series at a certain price. So if we can, I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to plan it, spend it, make it, take the risk, and just hope people want to buy in on it.
Nah, they're gonna have some people bought in on that, man, because being able to see what's some of the Detroit guys, Mike Bruce, Day Day, Lat,
Nako, Nako, who didn't get to make it.
Nako, Nako.
Yep.
Is TNC
Yeah,
ever coming to Bam? I got another super chat.
for sure. Bro, TNC is going to be around for a long, long time. Very, very long time. And the more things we find out on how to not just like grow our culture, but to like really hone in that this is a business and expand, the more we can do that, we're going to come everywhere. So just be patient with that. You'll definitely see us there.
Scotty,
The
anything
Kel,
else, man? Go ahead, 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 go ahead.
the Kel versus Pat favorite one-on-one of the year. I'm excited for the version with the commentary, you know. It's a different feel. It's a different feel. And here's something that I'm gonna say in here. We wanted to play around with the idea because a lot of people got spoiled before the game came out because there are some people that were there in attendance, even though we pre-sold the tickets online to go watch the game early. A lot of people that were there in attendance as we're promoting the game spoiled it. We blocked them, everybody. But once that word gets out, it spreads really fast. People were still happy with the product of seeing it. We knew that people were going to spoil it. We know our next YouTube video, you're going to see a ton of comments spoiling it. You know, that was okay with us because we've done very well at selling the tickets. But for our next event, we're looking to like live stream one of the games, like a premiere game, possibly just from like a phone, right? Like same way that streamers, when they go places, you know, they're streaming in public and everything. That way, we at least give everybody an option to watch it where somebody's dedicated to holding a phone. Like our events have a ton of space, so you're gonna get a good angle of the game all the time. But if we live stream it, it'll avoid any chance of getting a spoiler, but you'll still get that version if you want to pay for it after. That's going to be like raw and, unedited.
Well, we got some shit going on right now. We got
Hmm.
some ideas running through. Listen, man. I'm not gonna lie. The and I'm gonna say this again. The concept of a not of a rivalry of a mini rivalry, I should say, being at a city is low key a cheat code.
Yeah, it is like I'd like to see I'd like to see Zay and Tay run it back maybe in the city or Latin Key.
Hey, hey, that's second John. Appreciate the super chat.
Yeah.
That's second John.
Yeah, I think Latin Key. To me, it's like people might have to say what they say about if it was ever a pay-per-view. Like we've thought of ideas, right? Like it's crossed our mind of like, would this rematch be something people want to see? Because it's just interesting to me. Like he has to win that game, and the feeling of he has to win that game makes me invested into it. You know? Did you hear somebody yell out red shoes during the event
That was
in
like a third
Cincinnati?
possession. That was like a third possession.
Yeah, they started yelling red shoes.
All right.
People,
I want to actually give me the
uh,
pie chart. Go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
well, it's just like I hate seeing the Key disrespect of like that Key's not a good basketball player. Just because he got beat in that game, he still performed in all of the other games. He's gone crazy in all of the war zones, beat Scar, had a great game with Tay. I just think that was Latin's day, and it was definitely not. He took two shots.
Was it Latin's Day?
Yeah.
I was talking about just Key. It was just Latin's Day. All right.
He 20-year D'Lo, 21-2. Like the runs he made were ridiculous.
You mean like 15, 16 threes. All right. Are y'all
Mhm.
ever coming to New York? And also, will we see Fambi back soon?
Um, Definitely coming to New York. It's just New York's been every time I come to New York, it's always like a bummer of an event. Just truthfully, I've done probably 7 or 8 events in New York. It's hard to get people to pop out in the city, and I just feel like people just if you're not from New York and you're putting on an event in New York, I just feel that energy. I'm from New York. So I'm familiar with like going to events and seeing that that energy as well. So We'll probably do it. We might host a showcase up there. And I think it's still just a question mark on if we're going to see Fonby back on TNC. You know, like we have all of our own individual relationships with every single player. And sometimes certain things don't line up the same way or certain concepts aren't the right fit for certain things, but it's a question mark.
Anything else? I have one, man. I got one more question I gotta ask you.
Go ahead.
It's another tough one.
Oh man.
It's not, bro. You can't come on here and I gotta ask you these questions, man. I gotta
That's
ask
fine.
you. I gotta ask you.
Go.
It's the last question, so they may not even get to this part of the video.
All right, go ahead.
How you felt about that comment, man? And you know what comment I'm talking about, as I'm not even gonna say it out loud.
I have dealt with that ever since the ball is life days of the street ball stuff. I just feel like it's a easy comment to make that can't be defend, you know?
Yeah.
So I just I had my thoughts about it. We did try to reach out. I'm not even trying to re-spark this.
No,
This is
but
not
don't, that's what I'm saying. Keep it brief, but I gotta ask that question.
not trying to re-spark it. We're on two separate spectrums. I have respect. The comment was made, whatever. Hopefully there's a mutual respect still and an understanding. But I just think the way we do our business, we know what we need to support our business and grow. We ask what we ask of the players that are a part of it. People agree to that, and we have an overall goal that we're all trying to accomplish together. It works for us. It doesn't work for some people. I feel like business should just be respected, and that's where I stand. And I hope that this is just the end of the situation because it is exhausting to hear about it and see opinions and people saying this and coming into my DMs because I do think a lot of it is just very unwarranted. But it was a tough comment to see, not gonna lie, because it's not who I am.
I just wanted you to address that, brother. That's all.
Tough question.
That's all. Anything else you got for us, Scotty? Anything else you want to discuss? Any last words for the people? God, it's been an
I
hour.
would say for anybody that's been in here, make sure to get the Kel versus Pat game on tncleague.com because if you wait another day, you're definitely gonna get it spoiled. Definitely gonna get it spoiled. So don't wait. It comes out for free April 3rd. It was a premier matchup. We knew it was gonna get spoiled once the tickets went on and people saw the game. But don't wait because this is your only chance. You're gonna know it. If you're in the chat, you probably already know who won the game. But
I
yeah,
promise you, on Monday it's spoiled. But Monday
for sure.
in the who plays Monday? Burke and Jordan Brankers. Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
be spoiled all in that chat.
For sure.
Scotty Weaver, ladies and gentlemen, pulling up to the channel once again, spreading the love. I don't know what's that middle streak down the middle of his screen. I ain't gonna lie, man.
Jesus. Hold on. I don't even know. It's because my camera's picking it up, I guess. But I've been trying to move it, and I feel like it keeps moving with me.
Nah, you actually was on like the right side of it, like most of the time.
Yep.
Yeah, you actually were, man. But yeah, bro, Eli Carter might pull up for a season. Might 1v1 Burke. Got all the OGs coming back with new faces. This seems like a season that's gonna be a banger. Seems like a season that's gonna be a banger, man. Because Chapter 2, Season 1 was a banger.
Yep.
But yeah, Scotty.
All right. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir,
Peace.
my brother. Another day in the office, Mr. Scotty Weaver addresses the people. Wow. Chapter 2, Season 1 is going to be an absolute movie, man. Chapter 2, Season 2 is going to be an absolute movie. I'm just letting you guys know this right now. There's going to be some great things happening for the community within the next, let's say it's March right now. I'd say within the next 6 months, I think it's going to be the community is going to be well fed. The community is going to be well fed, and the players are going to be well fed. The commentators are going to be well fed, and the people that run their platforms are going to be well fed. And we'll see how everything unfolds, man. But I'll see you guys in the next video.